So we'll get started. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us today for the Council on Aging Board meeting on September 9th, 2020. I'm Amory Gagnon, and I am the Director of the Council on Aging, and I am going to help chair the meeting in our chairperson's absence. Pat Gold is not able to attend this afternoon. So before we get started, Ray, let's do a quick roll call of who's on with us today.
Okay, Pat Gold is not. Carol Arasian.
Hi.
Hi. Dorothy Jean. No. Esther Keeney. Here. Mary Keenan. No. Tom Lewis.
Present.
Janet McCullough. She's on.
Okay.
Araxi. And Arlene.
Great. All right, good. Well, thank you very much, Ray. I appreciate that. The last time we had it way back in March before we all had to close due to COVID-19. I had sent off the minutes from that meeting, and if we want to take a minute to review those, then I'll ask someone to make a motion to accept them.
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Okay, thank you. Before we proceed with the rest of the agenda, I just want to thank the staff and the board who are on the meeting this afternoon. It's been a long 6 months, so it's nice to see everybody. I know I've seen many of you at certain of our classes that we've been offering every week, but it's nice to see you in this capacity and to talk about what the Senior Center has been up to in the last 6 months. Basically, the meeting is an opportunity to discuss, the activities since we've closed and about how the operations of the Senior Center have continued on. We've had somebody on staff here in the building ever since we closed in March. And slowly but surely have brought more staff back based on distancing and safety precautions within the building. And we've had a slowly but surely built up our calendar of activities thanks to Marina and the wonderful, activities we're able to bring forward. I know many of you have participated in them. In addition to outreach with the caseworker, in addition to still providing rides via taxi service, even though the senior shuttle is off the road right now. And of course, our activities trying to reach out to those who are isolated, to those who need our assistance in any way, and also our food pantry operations. So I wanted to pass it on to Marina Kirsanova, our program coordinator, to talk about some of the activities that we've had and then provide some opportunity for discussion to see what's working and what might not be. Go ahead, Marina.
Well, thank you again for being here, and I'm happy to see you in that capacity. And I'm happy to see you even more during our trainings. We, just for your information, that we have a kind of exercise every day. On Mondays, as you know, we have chair yoga. On Tuesdays, Tai Chi. On Wednesdays at 11 o'clock, we have Joanna's exercises. At 9 o'clock on Thursday, we're trying Pilates. And we will be, she is already done 4 classes. So if anybody tried it and have a feedback, would be happy to hear your opinion on her. Somebody's, okay. And we have strength and balance on Friday. So every day we have some physical exercises which helps people to stay fit. We also added last month, and we're hoping to continue with them, line dancing. That's quite popular class, and we had a number of people coming back specifically for the line dancing class. And we've heard only good things about that. Our book club is operational. Our readers advisory is operational. We were going to have her back in October, but she's with us, Emily with us is every other month. We're having with meeting with police every month. Fire department also has been updating us almost every month. So these are the regular activities, plus marathons are going regularly. What did I forget? These are the regular activities. And also we try to offer a menu of guest speakers. Like in September, we have Deaf Cafe back to us. We have a new
It's just on a different view.
webinar about the movies and history of cinematography. She is new, we're trying her. What else do I have? I have a trombone hand. Yeah. So you have our calendars. I simply don't remember it because right now I'm trying to schedule October and November as well, bringing some innovations. And I've been discussing with some of you what else might be interesting and what else might diversify of the menu which we have already been offering. Big success, we had 35 people participating, was the concert, live concert
Yes.
with Levon. And I've heard a lot of good feedback because he's a wonderful professional and he is also a lovable personality. We're planning to have him back with his friend, and they will be more focusing on Armenian music because the second guy will be playing duduk. So I'm looking forward. And Anne-Marie was generous enough. She said, you can spend money because they are not cheap, they're expensive together. So we're planning that. I'm chasing several people to cook with us. So that might be showing up either on October calendar or November calendar. And some of you know that I've been trying to do Zoom tours out overseas, but that's meeting some technical issues, but I'm still working on that. So yeah, I'm
Marina,
having fun and I'm trying to diversify the menu, and I'm looking at October calendar, and I understand that I need to stop because we have like 3 or 4 activities per day, and that's probably too much.
Yes, so Marina's done a really great job, and we definitely want to be, you know, we have a great group of folks who are who've become, you know, very adept at using Zoom, who have learned Zoom to be able to participate with us. We've had quite a few of our members write pieces in our newsletter about how Zoom has changed their life so that they're able to get back into, you know, seeing their friends in an electronic community, a virtual community, if you will. But and there's training available through the Senior Center here to help you and others get on, you know, to certain programs, which we're happy to provide. Did any of, I mean, we've probably over 240 people have participated in one of our Zoom programs in the last 6 months. I'd like to open it up to discussion to the board members who are on about anything that you participated in or any comments you have about that service.
Well, Marina's a good explainer. She really is.
And she
I
doesn't
think-
keep up.
But I really enjoyed the concert. I thought that was, it was a hot day and it was cooling music. It was amazing. And I thought he was a great teacher too.
He teaches, you know, you told us, right, that
Yeah.
he taught your kids or your
He
grandchildren.
taught Andy, yeah, upstairs.
Yeah.
And that was above and beyond, Marina.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it. Everything I do, I enjoy.
That's the best, when you're doing what you enjoy.
Yep. So we're trying to find a good balance between, you know, exercise classes, cultural events, the art class, the book group. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we're not able to retain those groups that did, you know, that played bridge or who played whist or who participated in bingo or who came to the movie, or that conversation group that participated in the mornings. We have one conversation group going, but, you know, we'd like to try to find ways to to see if we can meet those needs, but I think the interactivity with the card playing and bingo is not possible at this time. We're continuing to see what we can provide via Zoom or outreach in other ways.
I'd like to mention that the singing group could not do it any other way but Zoom now, because singing is a way to distribute the COVID germs like nobody knows. I mean, it's terrible.
Yep, and they've actually had a really good turnout by doing Zoom, which I think is great. And we've had some great success about people, one of our members has said, Zoom has been great. You don't have to worry about the weather. You don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry about getting dressed up to come to the senior center because you're going to be talking to all of your friends. There's been some really great benefit about Zoom, and it's been a really good opportunity for us to learn how to do that in this atmosphere. And whatever the future holds, Zoom will still be a really big part of what we do. It helps to fill a need that we might not otherwise have reason to use. So we're glad it was able to work out that way. In terms of the new programs, I know Marina's looking at quite a few. It's hard, we can't have our parties. It is definitely one thing we're missing going into the fall and the holiday season. So we're trying to come up with some creative ideas about how to continue with that sort of community feeling. But we're still trying to go through some different ideas. So keep looking at the newsletter. For anybody doing at home, we do send out about 2,200 newsletters to people in the community. They used to be available at the library. We took a break from that when the library was closed, but now they are back at the library.
Yeah, I saw them.
You did? Oh, good. So, you can pick one up at the library. You can call us, 617-972-6490, and we'll put you on our mailing list and we'll get one sent to your home. Or feel free to even ask for a few copies and you can distribute them to your friends and neighbors who you think might need a boost of information. And there's a lot of good information in there. Other things that are coming up, speaking of information, is Medicare open enrollment starts October 14th. So for people who are interested in needing to relook at their prescription drug plans, now is the time to set that appointment up for a phone call with our Shine counselor. And he'll be counseling folks over the phone about good plans that they could perhaps switch into to potentially save money. And our social worker, our caseworker rather, is always available too to help people out with any emergency assistance needs or other problems that they might be encountering due to COVID or just due to, what their life situation is right now. And we've been doing a lot of counseling for folks.
Yeah, I'd like to second what everybody said in terms of the value of the virtual program, if you will, that the center has mounted. It's been really great. It's been excellent in terms of participation, and I think everybody's effort has been really productive in that. I have kind of a concern because maybe a third of the people in my environment don't have technical skill and are unable, just for any number of reasons, they're never going to be a virtual participant. And so I wonder if we could somehow search out some way to reach those people, because those people are perhaps the neediest of attention. So I'm not looking for suggestions right now, but I just want to kind of bookmark that as a comment.
Yeah, Tom, Lewis, I agree with your comments. That is very, very true. And we have met quite a few times here at the Senior Center about other activities that we can do for folks in terms of outreach. I know we made a lot of phone calls and there's been letters that have gone out to people, but we would probably looking to get a work group together to see what else we could do to particularly target that group. And I am concerned going into the colder months as well about how to make sure people have support from us.
I think what you said about the cold months are particularly true, because the forecast is that we're going to have a particularly snowy winter, and that's just going to add on to the isolation that we all are already feeling, even though we're in the middle of the summertime. And, as it gets darker and the days are shorter and all that sort of thing, I think there's going to be sort of a 1, 2, 3 punch there for our participants.
I agree with that.
I'd certainly be willing to be part of any conversation if you would like.
That's great, Tom. Thank you. We'll note that. I appreciate that. Anybody else have anything to add on that topic? Carol?
Just snow shoveling. Remember, we did some work with having middle school students and high school students shovel. I know there's all kinds of liabilities, but since it's going to be a snowy winter, it might be good to be thinking about how we set that up, and could it be set up in COVID experience.
Right. Yeah, the recreation department was charged with reorganizing that program the last 2 years, and we didn't have a lot of snow last year, so we are looking to see how that is going to work in a COVID environment. But I'll bring that back to Pete Santola and the recreation department to see how we're going to move forward with that. I do believe there's still a plan to assist seniors with students, but within the COVID atmosphere. We'll see what other pieces are going to be put into place. So thank you for bringing that back to the forefront, Carol.
You're welcome.
Margie, do you want to say something about raffle, Zoom raffle?
Unmute yourself.
I am, I was. Zoom raffle. So we've got a contest going that if you participate, every time you participate, we have your name entering it into the My Senior Center database. And at the end of October, it's for the month of September and October. So at the beginning of November, we'll go ahead and we'll see how many people who participated at some point. It doesn't have to be 100 times. It can be any time that you've participated. And we're going to have a drawing of 3 names, and they will win a gift card. We haven't decided to where yet, but we will make announcements of that.
Yep.
When we get there in the future.
Yeah, I think that was a really good idea that the program staff brought forward. I thought it was a good incentive for everybody's time. It takes a lot of time to at times learn how to use Zoom and then stick with Zoom, and with different Wi-Fi connections and whatnot. It's been amazing to see what folks can do. So this opportunity came along and we thought we would try it, and I think it has helped to incentivize people to try a Zoom program. If you aren't familiar with the Senior Center and you're watching this program from home, you would just call us and you'd register like you would any time with the Senior Center. We just need your name and your contact information, and then we will provide you with the Zoom access for our programs. And then we take attendance at all of our programs. We know who's in our classes, and we operate in a very closed environment so that people have a positive experience. So that's great. Thanks, Margie.
Back to signing on to Zoom. Mary Keenan called and she was having trouble signing in. So just so you know, I tried walking her through it, but she couldn't seem to make it
What are
load.
the last 4 digits? 4317?
Who, Mary's number?
What Victoria can do, if she hears us, she can call her in,
Oh, yeah.
if she didn't do it yet. Because that's what I do. I call people in.
Mary, are you on the phone?
No, she hung up.
So if we could ask Victoria to call Mary Keenan as a host, she can call her in. And the procedure is really easy. I guess she's not with us.
Oh, no, I'm here. Do you know her phone number?
Okay.
Mary Keenan's.
Oh, if you can put it in chat.
Got it.
Okay. Do you want to just put it in the chat? Do you know how to do that?
Yep.
What do you need from?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
Do you want me to call Mary back?
No. Victoria will.
Victoria will call her. That's fine.
Who's Victoria?
Victoria is the person behind the town of Watertown symbol. She's our contact at Watertown Cable Access Television.
Oh, hi, Victoria.
So a few other statistics I wanted to share with you. of what's been happening here since we closed. So as we say, and everybody says in the network, all the senior centers across the Commonwealth, even though the senior centers were closed, the Council on Aging work still continued. We were able to renew over 120 parking permits in the time that we've closed. Margie and the staff have been great at that. Renewing permits over the phone, or if you need a new permit, you can call us and make an appointment to come in and get a new parking permit. We have continued to offer taxi rides for medical transportation and emergency assistance with serving right at this point over 39, almost 40 riders with over 120 rides. So that is still taking place. So if people are in desperate need to go to a local doctor, we'd be able to participate with that. And as I had mentioned earlier, we've had 249 total participants in our Zoom programming, which is great. And those participants have participated numerous times. So we really, even though we're not here and we've lost our the ability for our card players and bingo to come, we still have retained quite a few people who had been visitors to the center, but we know we have more work to do to include everyone. So, it's the work still continues. In terms of our caseworker, she has seen everything from needs for housing assistance, referrals for food, referrals for emergency assistance, for heating oil, for assistance with mass health applications, similar to what we see during the year. The food pantry has done a phenomenal job serving almost 4 times now the number of people that they had been serving prior to COVID. And the donations from the community have been extraordinary, both in cash as well as food contributions. We get 4 or 5 phone calls a day of people wanting to provide food to the food pantry. And I know there are lots of little local drives going on where Kathy Cunningham has been able to go pick up food or have food delivered, in addition to all the items that we get from the Greater Boston Food Bank and other vendors who we participate with. So that effort has been great. Do you have any questions about the food pantry?
Is there any specific need that Kathy has? She's not getting enough toothpaste. Has she mentioned anything? And you said 4 times more. Now, the last number I heard was 81 people normally got food.
Right. It had been anywhere between 20 to 30 families. So that could be one person, that could be 4 or 5. Now it's like families. I mean, there's a lot of food that has been going out of the food pantry. And we have increased our numbers of the food that we get from the Greater Boston Food Bank and other vendors. A lot of the donations we get go back into paying our fair share of what it costs to get that food, as well as what we get from the community drives and other groups as well. At this time, I don't have a specific item that she needs, but the list is on the Council on Aging website, the food pantry website, with the stock items that they have on hand all the time. The cereals, the peanut butter, the pastas, the beans, the vegetables. It's been amazing with what all the fresh produce she's been able to get from her vendors. That's been really, really great. And I know that the community has been very, very pleased with what they can receive. She did a great piece where we used a lot of the funding to have produce boxes sent twice a month over to residents in public housing. And that was very well received. And she recently had another box program that was at the food pantry, and then additional items went over to folks in senior housing. So there's been a lot of product made available.
That's great.
Yeah, she has been open the whole time, every Tuesday from 10 to 2, and she accepts donations starting at around 8:30, 8:45 or so through till 2 o'clock on Tuesdays. And her volunteers have been great. She's had a very, very tremendous support really well-organized, well-oiled machine there that really helps serve the community. So we're really grateful for that, and to all the folks who have donated.
Anne Marie, is it
Yes.
possible for us, considering our age, to volunteer?
Yeah, I can ask Kathy what her needs are right now. I know she does have, her volunteers are pretty much set right now. She hasn't reached out to me about her need for volunteers, but I will let her know that some of you are interested in participating should she need that.
Okay.
Okay.
And also helping mail the absentee ballots?
Yes, so we had a small project with the town clerk's office at 2 weeks ago when the ballots were going out, and I will reach back to him to see what he will need for the general election.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you to those of you who helped. It was a tremendous effort.
And they really were absentee ballots. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
it was very safe.
It said absentee ballot on it.
Mm.
Let's see, do you have any other questions for us as we move forward? No. Was Mary Keenan able to get on? I think Marina's trying to help her.
I don't know whether that was an invitation to ask a general question, or were you still talking about food?
No, no, go ahead, Tom. What's your question?
My question was just looking down through both the minutes and the agenda and so forth. I was just wondering if there is any budgetary concern given all the changes you've had to make that you were not expecting when you set up the budget? Do we have enough money as far as goals?
No, I am actually pleased to report that the town has been very supportive and very fiscally responsible and was able to continue to provide what we asked at the beginning of the budget season. There were no layoffs, there was no reduction pertaining to our department at all. And we have a very, very strong budget for what we need to do. Even if it wasn't COVID, we would have been in a very good position. So now we're looking at how best to use those dollars to continue to provide some really good programming. So that's why Rita and I are working closely to see, what if speakers need honorariums or exercise instructors need fees, what that will look like, so we can get the best possible people, for everyone. Yes, Marina?
I just got a call from Arlene. For some reason, technical reason, she hears us, but we cannot hear her. So she asked me to ask 2 questions.
Okay.
I believe to us and to the board. The first question was when, if any time soon, we're going to have any in-person activities like the Historical Society walk outside, for example. And second question was whether in winter we're going to have a food pantry drive, something like that.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Arlene. I'm sorry we're not able to hear you, but thank you for your questions. I'd be happy to address that. In terms of in-person activities, all of the councils on aging in the area are really of one mindset that now is not a safe time to have in-person activities for seniors. So at least is how they used to be. There are a few exceptions to that. If someone needs to come in to purchase a new parking permit, we will make an appointment. They will step in and talk to somebody. If the caseworker needs to have an appointment with someone in a safe place behind plexiglass, we're making appointments here at the senior center on a case-by-case basis. We are working to actually get the senior shuttle bus back on the road soon in a very, very, very limited capacity to keep things safe. So unfortunately, that doesn't include any typical social programming that we had. And I'm not sure at this point when that would resume, which again makes us very sad because it's holiday time soon, and Watertown has historically been known for its parties. So that is something that we're going to have to look at moving forward. I do like the idea of the historical walk outside piece, and if we can do some outside activities, that would be great. If you'd like to contact Marina again, we can have a conversation. Again, another work group, which I think would be a good thing to put together to see what we could do outside. We've thought about doing some exercise here outside, but the back of the building grass kind of slopes and isn't necessarily even. And the parking lot, as we all know, is not a perfectly even surface. And we've decided that it's too risky for those two spaces to have a proper class, if you will. But in terms of like a walking group or something, I think that'd be great. So thank you for bringing that up. And the second question was about the food pantry and a drive. I encourage anybody who's watching this, the board, any seniors, if you'd like to put some sort of food drive together for the food pantry, we can provide Kathy's information and you can contact her to see if there's one or two or a certain item that she needs. Or if you want to do a general drive, that's fine. I also know that Hardy Spa is a place where people can drop food off, and she collects it there. And at a few weeks ago, Francis Food Market, there's new ownership there. They were doing a drive for us as well. I hope that answers your question, but feel free to reach back out to me if I can provide further assistance.
What about the high school and a new senior center? Anything that is definite, or is it completely up in the air?
So Carol, your question is great. It's true. Watertown schools have been working toward a new project. As we drive through town, you know that the elementary schools are under construction. I think it's all a win-win for the town. There is another meeting next week, and then there's going to be a community forum for this school building project at the end of September. And I don't have the date in front of me. I don't think it's set yet. Where I encourage all of you to be on to hear about what they're saying, because they haven't chosen the site yet. And once the site is chosen, then more conversation about particulars would happen. But at this point, one of the options they're looking at, because they need the space, is to include the Phillips School area and the current high school area and try to reconfigure all of that. And because we sit here, we'd sort of be swept into that planning. But for right now, they haven't decided for sure. It had been between Victory Field, and now it's in versus the Phillips School and the current high school site. And I think the Victory Field piece had since been taken off the table, and now they're just looking to see how this space or across the street would be configured, but nothing has been decided on right now. So I encourage you all to join us at the next meeting. I think there's going to be a lot of talk about this very soon, and how we can best support what's good for the younger folks in town is also good for growing old and well in the town. So I'd like to be a good partner in that. You have any other thoughts on that, Carol?
Can you send us an email about when this meeting next week is?
Yep, I think it's one of the school building committee meetings.
Okay.
They have a whole bunch of different meetings, so I will get that information to you, and it'll be posted on our website and our Facebook page. And then the community forum is definitely another one to attend. I think they've had a few so far in the last couple months, and I'll get that date to you. I want to say it's like the 26th, but I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? Any other thoughts for programs or ideas? If you do, feel free to reach out to myself or Marina or Ray or Margie or Jenya, whoever answers.
Whoever answers the phone.
What? Whoever answers the
Whoever
phone.
answers the phone. It's wonderful. You guys are accessible.
That's great. Well, we are here. We're here for you. We're here for anybody in the community who needs us. We've been working closely with housing. We're working closely with the Veteran Services Officer. We're taking applications for property tax work off to find spots for folks within a town department that would be a safe placement to be able to get a reduction on their taxes. So those applications are out. So there's a lot of good work that is happening. And just let us know, if you hear of anybody who needs our help or what we can do, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you.
All right, so I guess with that, does anybody else have any other comments, questions, thoughts? No? Okay. Well, I guess seeing none, I guess we need a motion to adjourn. And our next meeting would be the second Wednesday of October, again at 4 o'clock. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we adjourn. Thank you for all the information.
You're welcome.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay. Okay, Tom, thank you very much. Okay.
This is not to cut your comments off.
Okay,
Don't forget tomorrow Pilates at 9 o'clock.
Yay!
Okay,
And
everybody.
and conversation at 10:30.
That's right.
And conversation with Tom, which was one of the first programs we started. And it
The
has been
very
going
first,
with
okay.
no breaks, very first. Exactly. Thank you, Tom.
And
You're welcome.
Anne Marie at 12:30.
Yes.
Coffee with Anne Marie.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. There will be a coffee with me, a virtual coffee with me at 12:30 tomorrow. If anybody would like to join on that and hear more
What's the
about
agenda for that? What's the agenda for that, Henry?
what's the
What are you
agenda
going to do?
for that. The agenda for that is probably an update on where we are currently with programs. And probably to be able to just continue on what we've been, some of the work group ideas that we've thought of around other activities going into the fall.
Cool.
Okay, great. All right, everybody. Well, then, thank you very much. For those of you viewing at home, I appreciate your time. Please reach out to us if you need us. And I look forward to seeing everybody